up, everybody? My name is Jason. I'm here with my co-host Josh. Say hello, Josh.
What's going on, everybody?
And this is the first ever episode of the... What are we going to call us?
The Headbanging Honkeys.
All right, we're going to go with Headbanging Honkeys for now. If any of you recognize our voices, which is probably nobody, we normally do a little podcast with our friend Eric and our friend Jamie and our friend Marissa called The Sound of Madness. Josh and I were sitting around one day and we were thinking, hey, we've got all this equipment and we really love metal, so let's do a show about something we're passionate about.
Everybody loves metal.
We love metal a lot. It's a very, very important part of our lives, actually.
So huge.
Show's going to be pretty simple, guys. We're going to talk about metal. We're going to talk about upcoming shows. We're going to talk about our favorite albums, favorite songs, just anything, really, metal-related.
Everything and everything metal.
So don't know about you, Josh. I've been into this genre of music pretty much my whole life. How would you say your introduction to metal was as a child?
My introduction to metal?
Yes.
Would have had to been one band and one band only.
Which one?
That started it off. It was Black Sabbath.
Ah, very good. How? Tell me your story about how you first heard Black Sabbath.
I think I was around 4 years old, and my parents had divorced, and I think it was at my dad's house, and he used to play a lot of old stuff like Sabbath, Zeppelin, Santana, and nothing really got to me, but the first time I ever heard a Black Sabbath song was Fairy Wear Boots, and that song was just...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You got a clip of that pulled up
Yeah,
there?
I do right now. Here we go.
Stand by.
Here we go.
So this is the one that did it for
Oh,
you.
man. Just a guitar riff.
The guitar riff's awesome. The delay is awesome. It's classic. My dad was big into Black Sabbath, too. I didn't discover them until a little bit later myself.
I mean, the song is just so... I mean, just the opening song with that guitar riff, and I don't know what did it for me. I was 4 years old, and I was like, what is this?
It's probably just something about the way it sounded. You were just attracted to it.
I was attracted.
My story is a little bit different. I was into a lot of like pop music basically when I was a kid. I was already dancing to like Michael Jackson and stuff when I was like 4 years old or whatever. But what turned me away from that type of music into something not necessarily even metal at this point, but something at least more rock related. My dad had a Sony CD player way back in the day, like first generation type stuff. And one of the first CDs he ever got was Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. And I was in his bedroom one day, and they were playing the CD because they wanted to see how cool the new CD player was. And this is exactly what I heard right here. Who didn't listen to that as a kid?
I listened to it. My mother was a huge Bon Jovi fan.
That was my first real introduction to like anything rock music related at all. In fact, when I was like 9 years old, they were playing at the Lakeland Civic Center, and my mom at the time just thought I was just way too young to go to a concert. So we pulled up to the Civic Center, and it was so loud in there that we could pretty much hear the concert outside in the parking lot. So
wow. Not
not only was Bon Jovi my introduction to rock music, but they were technically also my first concert too.
Wow.
But yeah, from here, I listened. My dad had a lot of CDs, early Metallica. My uncle was into some early Megadeth and stuff like that, and I really liked it. I would sit at my dad's house and read through the booklets and read all the lyrics, and I was really into that kind of thing. But for some reason, when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I was into this TV show. Josh, I think maybe you liked this TV show when you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint.
One of the greatest shows that helped metal.
In fact, I think you're right, actually, because if it weren't for Beavis and Butthead, I wouldn't have seen a lot of metal bands, because back then it wasn't like, now you just go on YouTube and you look for metal bands, or you get Facebook notifications from your record labels that you follow, and there's lots of ways to find metal now, but back then you either had to watch MTV and hope for it to come on, or maybe you watch Headbangers Ball on what was it, Friday night back then, right?
Yeah, I think it was on Friday night.
Yeah, but Beavis and Butthead, man, these guys were very responsible for not only my sense of humor as a child, but also for my musical taste. This is the very first time I was ever introduced to Pantera.
Yes, Pantera. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
But, what's going on here?
Don't worry about it. It sounds rockin'.
This is the video for the song This Love.
Ooh, baby.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Oh.
Does this Pantera guy ever relax?
I don't think so.
This Pantera guy.
Dad must have kicked his ass when he was a kid.
Yeah, really. You're like, damn it, Pantera, this beer is warm. Give me another one.
Yeah. He was like, you treat your stepmother with respect, Pantera.
I like how they're calling him
Sleeping in the
Pantera.
I know.
Yeah.
That show was responsible for me seeing a lot of metal. That from there, it just went, snowballed from there. Because after I heard Pantera, man, that was the end of it. But another big one for me, when the first time I ever heard Ministry was also on Beavis and Butthead.
Really?
Yes. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere.
Even the old dude is cool.
Yeah.
I like the tornado.
What a riff this is.
Oh, yeah.
Almost everything in this video is cool.
What do you mean, almost? What else do you want?
Well, it'd be pretty cool, like, if somebody puked.
How many times have people called you and I Beavis and Butthead?
So many.
Because we just sit around and laugh and just make fun of everything. That's pretty much what we do. That riff in Just One Fix, dude, it's so simple but so heavy, man. Those are the
So
best.
great.
Al Jorgensen, man, that guy can do anything. Everything he
And they're
does is
still
good.
around, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's still going,
They're
man.
touring right now.
Do you know who with?
No, I don't know who with, but I know that they're touring right now.
Man, this album came out, I think, in 90 or 91 or something, so he's been going. But his first album, they came out in, like, the late 80s.
Yeah.
So he's been going for freaking 30 years, man.
That's crazy.
It's good stuff. I have that album, too, Psalm 69. I think,
Such a great album.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones that right after I saw the episode of Beavis and Butthead, I wrote it down, and the next time I went to Specs to buy
Wow.
a CD, I bought Psalm 69. Oh, man. There's another one, too. This was not the first time I was introduced to Metallica, but I do remember getting super excited when this came on Beavis and Butthead.
What's this?
You should know, Butt Munch. This is Metallica.
Oh, yeah. This part of the song sucks, but it gets cool later.
Yeah.
It starts going, da-da-da-da, got this, imprisoning me, I cannot live, I cannot die.
Shut up, Beavis. You're beginning to piss me off. Lars is cool.
You mean that dude on that Addams Family?
You're thinking of Lurch, dumbass. Lars could kick Lurch's butt.
Yeah, he can kick Cousin It's butt, too.
Does Cousin It have a butt?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was not my first introduction to Metallica, but that was a very, very funny video that they did. You were introduced to Gwar because of Beavis and Butthead,
yes.
right? Which one is you have it pulled up there?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Right.
This was the first time I ever saw Gwar, and I was like, holy crap, I want to be a part of this band. This is Sodom a Go-Go.
Oh, I remember this.
Yes, Gwar! Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're Beavis and I'm Butthead.
Okay.
Yeah.
They taught the sex slaves to play horns. It's like Balzac told him, throwing blood and urine in the audience isn't enough. You guys need to learn to play something.
Yeah, really.
I heard that one time this kid had like a seizure at a Guar concert, and that singer dude told everybody not to help him.
Yeah, really.
The singer dude. That's so good, dude. But yeah, that's when I found Guar was through Beavis and Butthead, man.
What about when Guar was on Jerry Springer?
Oh my God, that was probably the greatest Jerry Springer episode ever.
It's on YouTube. You can find it. You
Yeah,
can pull it up.
the best part is that there was other bands that were like there.
Yeah.
And then Guar came out, and then this mom came out and said that the band was, destroying her son, and her son comes out, and he's the freakish little kid I've ever seen in my life.
Was he like a?
He had like this whole side of his head shaved, and he had like black lipstick on. And the funniest thing Oda said to this lady, and he was like, "Ma'am," he was all like, "This is entertainment," and she was like, "Well, you're." What am I looking for?
Like you're disrupting her child's
you're
development
destroying
or
my
something.
Kid's life. And he was like, well, apparently he's into us because you're destroying his life yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And she just went off. It was the greatest episode ever.
Well, the funny thing is that he's right.
Oh, totally.
R.I.P. Dave Brocky, man. That was some sad news.
Oh, man.
I think that was a shocker too, man. I mean, he was 52 or something, right?
Yeah, he was.
I mean, they've been going for years and years and years, and man, all the partying just, I guess, caught up to him, huh?
Heroin, dude. That's what killed
Ugh,
him.
it's too much. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We are the Headbanging Honkeys, if that's the name we're going to stick with. Then
Oh, yeah,
hey,
hell yeah.
Why not? We're going to take a quick break and leave you with one of my favorite bands as of lately, Within the Ruins from Massachusetts. This song is off the album Phenomena, and the song is called Calling Card.
I am an agent.
Welcome back, everybody. That was Within the Ruins with a killer song called Calling Card. Josh, have you seen them live?
Yeah, we just saw them with Dyer's Murder and Born of Osiris.
That was at the Orpheum, correct?
Yes.
They're awesome live. That was probably my 4th or 5th time seeing Within the Ruins.
That was my 3rd.
Yeah, because they've been to Minnesota a couple times when I lived there, and I've seen them a few times here, too.
It's so tight live.
I
man.
have the first album on vinyl. It's, oh my God, it's so, everything those guys do is unbelievable.
Really amazing stuff.
Tim's writing, too, is awesome. If you're big into lyrics, and he's kind of a hate the world kind of guy. And if you're into that kind of stuff, his lyrics are awesome, too.
I love it.
Lyrics in that song towards the end there, and that big scream he has in the middle is carve a smile into, what does he say? Carve a smile into this pathetic world.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. So we talked earlier a little bit about how you and I kind of sort of got into metal, at least steered towards that direction. What is your favorite band of all time?
Of all time?
Of all time.
Let me cue this up because you know what it is. All right, this is my favorite band of all time.
Ooh, I know what this is.
Yes, you do.
We just saw them at the Orpheum.
Oh, man.
That was I've seen them a bunch.
I've seen that a bunch.
And they kill every single time. For those of you who may not recognize this is the Black Dahlia Murder.
Just that intro gets me
This
hot.
intro, yeah, and this, when it kicks in right here, this breakdown is nasty.
Oh.
Oh,
I stage dived that night to this song.
it's so good. They, so funny story, Black Dahlia Murder was playing at the State Theater in St. Pete back in
2010.
2010. And every time Black Dahlia Murder comes through, it's an event for us. Our friend Che, our friend Kyle, we're all big Black Dahlia Murder fans, so it's always this big, huge ordeal. So, we pre-party around the merch table and stuff. We're drinking beer, we're hanging out with everybody, and all of a sudden, the band comes out to the merch table. So Josh and I and Kyle and Che, we're all like hanging around, meeting everybody, having a good old time, taking pictures, and these Black Dahlia Murder is the type of band that if you do something crazy for them, they'll give you stuff. They'll give you merch. They'll take pictures. They'll do whatever you want. So they dared Josh over here to eat a sandwich, and the only ingredient on the sandwich was wasabi.
Oh, man. It was so bad.
So we have pictures. There are pictures of this event somewhere on my Facebook page. But Josh eating a wasabi sandwich, face bright red, tears running out of his eyes, and all of the band members, with their arms around him and high-fiving him and stuff. What'd you end up getting out of that? Did they give you a couple shirts or something?
No, I had already bought shirts and a hoodie, so the only thing that I asked for was to be thrown off stage during Elder.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a YouTube video of me being thrown off stage during Elder.
Yeah, isn't it some random cell phone video or something?
Some random cell phone. And you can see me plain as day go up there and Trevor throwing me off.
Yeah, didn't you run up to Bart, the bass player at the time? Didn't you run up to him and say something in his ear?
I don't remember what I said because I was wasted.
Like he could hear you anyway.
Yeah,
like,
he just gave me the,
he just
yeah,
nods,
bro,
yeah, buddy,
what's
whatever.
up, buddy?
That's cool, man. So Black Dahlia Murder is your favorite of all time.
Favorite band of all time.
That's great, man. My favorite of all time, I think I said it during that first opening segment there, but I got to go with Pantera, man. I mean, after I heard them for the first time, that was it for me. Unfortunately, this is insane for me to even say this, but I've gone to shows almost religiously since I was 14, 15 years old.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I never
never
got to see
saw them.
Pantera. I only really had 2 shots. In like 94, they came through the Lakeland Civic Center with White Zombie.
Oh, man, I wish I would have been there.
My mom said I was too young. And then
thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I know, right? And then it was like I think Ozfest of like 2001 maybe.
No, it was 2000 because I was in New York at the time, and that's the only time that I got to see them.
Yeah, I never got to see Pantera. I'm absolutely devastated about that. I've seen Down several times. I think I've seen Damage Plan. But, not seeing Pantera is definitely a big hit on my life. But I'm going to play a little clip from one of my favorite songs by them, which to me is an underrated song, Use My Third Arm. The riff in this song is nasty. These guys basically invented, like, groove metal.
Oh. There's death metal like riff right there.
They're insane. You mean to tell me with everything that's going on, not only in this song, but listen to any Pantera song, one guitar player.
Yeah, one.
Unbelievable.
This is the album that brought them to number one.
Yeah, they were
They're
the
the
number one.
first metal band to hit number one.
I remember when I found out that Dimebag and Vinny had been shot on stage and finding out that Dime was dead, and I cried that day.
Who didn't?
Not afraid to admit it.
Everybody in the metal community cried that day.
It was absolutely devastating. Like the wrong person, like anybody. But I mean, you hate to see anybody die in some crazy manner like that. But
Dimebag
why
Darrell,
him,
really?
man? Why him? That's insane.
Because the kid blamed him for Pantera breaking up.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be seriously screwed up in the head to think. Yeah, and then oh my God. The really crazy thing about it, too, is my girlfriend Lacey's from Columbus, Ohio, and she'd been to that club many times.
Oh, man.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was, for some reason, she didn't go to that show that night. You know what I mean?
Luckily for her.
No kidding, right? So, Black Dahlia Murder is your favorite of all time. Pantera is my favorite of all time. There's got to be a band that you have that might not necessarily be your favorite, but has just stuck with you over the years and has been influential into your musical taste over the years. Do you have one of those?
Oh, yeah, I got this. This band, ever since day one. And if you don't know this song, you're not living.
Oh, come on. Of course.
I mean,
this whole album, are you kidding me? I listened to this album the other day when I drove to Lakeland.
Did you?
Yeah, I listened to this album just the other day on Thursday.
This album is just so... This band...
It's perfect.
Maynard's lyrics, he's so smart.
Yeah, just the way they write.
One of the best vocalists of all time.
No doubt. I mean, definitely one of my favorite vocalists of all time, for sure.
How could it not be? His voice is so soothing.
The way they write, I was going to say this, but I had to wait for that riff to kick in, but the way they write and the way they think things out before they do their albums and stuff, and just all the artwork and the mood that they set when they play, dude, there's just absolutely nothing like Tool. Nothing like them.
Best Tool show ever was in 2001 at the Sundome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when Lateralus came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on acid.
You took acid at that show?
And guess who dropped me off?
Oh, jeez.
My mother.
Did you drop it?
I went by myself. I dropped it before we got in the car. And as soon as I got out of the car at the Sundome, she was like, I will pick you up. Let me know. I was like, okay. Soon as the Melvins opened up.
Oh, that was the Melvin show.
Yeah, I started feeling it, and I was like, oh.
Oh, boy.
And then Tool came out, dude, and those aliens dropped from the ceiling. I lost it.
That was the end of it?
It was so amazing.
I've been lucky enough. I've seen them a few times. The first time was Ozfest 99, I want to say. It was Tool, Snot, Seven Dust,
Oh, yeah,
Cold
that's
Chamber.
right. Yeah.
During that tour, Maynard came out, and all he had on a pair of like almost like running shorts maybe, and he had on like a bra, and and the boobs were filled up in the bra, and his whole head was shaved and whatnot, and his whole head was painted white, and his eyes were really dark black. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen, especially for my first time seeing him. And then we saw him again in Orlando, saw him again in Tallahassee. In fact, in 2012, right before I had to move to Minneapolis for a job, they were playing in Orlando at the UCF Arena, and for whatever reason, I learned my lesson to never, ever, ever skip a Tool show. Because at the time, I was thinking, oh, I've seen him a bunch of times. You know, it's a long drive. I can't remember what the situation was. My bad. I didn't go see him.
Ugh.
So the next day, I pull up the set list on setlist.fm. If any of you guys don't know what that site is.
That's a great site.
If you're ever wondering what a set list was for any band that's ever played anywhere, pretty much, go to setlist.fm, type in the name of the band. You could even type in the name of the city. It has a great, great search engine. And you can see the set list from that night, from that show. So I go to setlist.fm and I pull up the Tool show from the night before. I want to punch myself. They only played 10 songs, but listen to the 10.
Okay.
Hooker with a Penis.
Oh, that's my favorite Tool song.
Zombie. And then Negative Ions into Stinkfist.
Oh.
Parabola. Number 5 would have been worth it on its own. They played Push It.
No way.
Push It. Schism, Intention, 46 and 2,
Oh.
Lateralis, Enema.
Oh, man.
I seriously, the next day when I read that, I wanted to punch myself in the face.
But
It
they
was
don't come
absolutely
around.
horrible.
They don't come to Florida that often anymore.
No, not really. I mean, they are doing a new album right now. I know they're dealing with some weird lawsuit, something about artwork from an old album.
Yep.
But as soon as I would hope as soon as they get this album out, then they'll tour again.
If they come anywhere in driving distance of
Oh,
Florida,
yeah.
I'm there.
If it's not Florida, even if it's like they've played in like Pensacola before.
Really?
Like, yeah, that's like an 8-hour drive. If it's within, I would say if it's within an 8-hour drive, I'll go.
I'll go. I'm there.
Because after this, man, there's no telling. We may never see them again.
Because every album has been like 4 years, 6 years. It's like long periods of time.
If this ends up being the last album, then it might be the last opportunity to ever see him. I don't want to go down like that at all. So yours is Tool.
What is yours? What is your most influential band that's carried you throughout these years?
They're in my top 5 of all time, and every time I get kind of obsessed over like rhythm and polyrhythms and how drummers and bass players kind of.
It's because you're anal.
I don't. Yeah, I guess that must be what it is. But Meshuggah has kicked my
man.
ass for the very first time I heard Meshuggah, I heard Millennium Cyanide Christ, and I can't remember if it was on a show or I can't remember where I heard it from, but I was like, who is that band? What the hell did I just hear? And then I ended up picking up Chaosphere, and I was just, part of me was in love with it, but part of me didn't quite understand it yet because I was so young. But by the time I heard this, it was over for me.
Oh, yes.
Rational Gaze is one of the nastiest, heaviest riffs.
That's probably
ever.
my most favorite Meshuggah song because that's the first song I ever heard by them.
Oh, that was the first song you heard
song
by them?
ever. I was
Oh my
hanging out with a
God.
friend of mine in Lutz, and his buddy was into like really different stuff, like Pissing Razors and In
Yeah.
Flames, and I didn't know any of those bands. And he was like, "Check this out," and I was all like, "What is this? I want to play guitar like these guys."
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
If you ever want to have your mind blown, read his lyrics.
I'm gonna have to do that. I've never done that.
Some of the songs, like it's literally like he's saying just random words, and other songs do have a structure and kind of a message to them. But for the most part, you're reading his lyrics and you're like, what is he talking about? Have you seen them?
No, never.
I've been lucky enough to see Meshuggah a few times, actually. Got some good video of them, too. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be right back. What up? We're back.
This song, oh,
First ever episode of the Headbanging Honkeys.
it's the greatest name ever.
What you were hearing, we were just talking about Meshuggah. This is actually not Meshuggah, but it reminds me of them quite a bit. A band called Stealing Axion out of Tacoma, Washington. You can find their full album, Aeons, on YouTube. They're that awesome mix of heavy and really technically like
The
progressive and
singing
whatnot.
kind of sounds like Textures.
Yeah, that reminds me of Textures as well. You're exactly right. It's like Textures meets Meshuggah meets. It's something. It's crazy, dude. They're
That's
awesome.
a good band.
They're fantastic. We will thank our buddy Che for pointing them out.
Thank you, Che.
Thank you, Che. Che and Josh here are very responsible for keeping me in the loop on a lot of new bands. I try to stay on top of it as much as I can, but it's always good to have other fans around you because we all find bands for each other.
Oh,
Happens all the time. So last segment we were talking about favorite bands of all time. Josh's number one was Black Dahlia Murder, and
Yes.
mine was Pantera. Josh, if you had to have a number two favorite band, what
number
would you say?
2 is gonna be out there for a lot of people. But
Oh, yeah?
yeah, this is them. This is my second favorite band of all time.
Oop. I know who this is. American Head Charge.
Oh man,
I have this CD.
I have every album. My band, we opened up for these guys
Your old band opened up for American Head Charge?
at the what is now the Ritz was the Masquerade.
I remember the Masquerade. I saw a lot of shows there. I saw
Oh.
Slipknot at the Masquerade after the first album came out.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was Slipknot. It was Slipknot, Cold Chamber, and somebody else.
Damn, that's a new metal haven for
Yeah.
when that.
Well, dude, it was in like 99 or 2000. It was right when we were going through all that. I graduated high school in 2000, so like the whole new metal phase was huge for me.
Oh yeah.
And this American Head Charge album being a very important album from the time.
Oh, this album will always be implanted in my head for the rest of my life.
But you know what though, man? Like when I think new metal, I think of like a lot of the Limp Bizkit type, almost like hip hop
Yeah.
/ rock stuff. But this doesn't sound like that. This album to me actually holds up pretty well. I can still jam this.
You can
today.
play it from start to finish,
Yep.
and there's not a bad song on the album.
Are they? What's up with them? What's their story?
They're actually right now writing a new album.
Oh, so they're
they
still
just
going.
did that EP last year or the year before, and a lot of people were like, I thought it was awesome because I've been a fan of theirs forever. But they're in the studio right now writing a new album, and they're using that website where fans can pitch in money.
Oh, like a Kickstarter?
Yeah, something
type
like
of
that.
thing?
Yeah, and I'm excited to hear what it sounds like, man. If it's anything like the EP and it's a full length, ugh.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, every time we go to a certain bar and we happen to notice that bar has the Touch Tunes jukebox, the Touch Tune jukebox is really cool because it's online, so it can look up songs that aren't in the traditional rotation of that jukebox. But what's cool about it, too, is you get the app for your phone,
Yeah.
and you just sit at your table and you can play songs from basically sitting on your ass.
And watching people's faces like, I didn't put this song on.
So it's really funny because this is actually a song that Josh tends to play a lot when we go to these places. And this is when people start looking around like, who are these psychotic white kids who are playing this Satan music while I'm trying to enjoy my dinner? My top 5 bands, they honestly tend to change based on my mood that day.
Okay.
But my number 1 is always, always, always Pantera. Now, I'm going to play one for you, and they're not necessarily my number 2 all the time, but they have been before. Also, you'll remember this also, Josh, as being the greatest concert that you and I have ever been to.
Another one of the greatest vocalists of all time.
Oh, yeah. So rewind back to 2009 or 2008? 2009.
When we saw that show?
Yeah.
It's 2010.
Was it 10?
Yeah.
The Deftones came through was that with Baroness?
Yes.
Yeah, that was at the Ritz in Ybor City here in Tampa.
Man.
If you guys have never been to the Ritz, it is literally one of the best sounding venues I've ever been to. And I've been to a few venues in my day. It's a clean place. It's really nice. It used to be called the Masquerade, and it was a
Yep.
little sketchier. But now, it being the Ritz, it's known as being kind of a higher-end theater. Anyway, we go see Baroness and Deftones, and it was right after Diamond Eyes came out. So, yeah, it was 2010. And that has hailed, in our opinion, as the best show of all time.
All time.
That was also my first introduction to Baroness as well,
It was mine too.
and they're awesome.
Yeah, they the Deftones played for 2.5 hours that night.
If I remember correctly, it was 22 or 23 songs.
Yeah, man.
And they played for 2.5 hours.
and they played every greatest song of theirs ever.
It literally was like if I was gonna make a mixtape for somebody of Deftones songs,
Oh.
it would have been this set list. No doubt about it.
It was so good.
Other than the Deftones, I've got another one that you mentioned. You thought American Head Charge would be kind of weird.
Yeah.
I've got one that I don't think it's too weird, but definitely one of my favorite bands of all time, Pink Floyd. If you listen to them, they are very, very, very much into mood and very much into being very emotional. They have some certain songs that just kind of take you into space and put you in a trance. It happens to me all the time. This being one of them. You know, not necessarily metal, but without Pink Floyd, you don't have a lot of bands.
That is true.
Their guitar work, their writing, unbelievable. I have Dark Side of the Moon on vinyl.
Do you really?
Unbelievable. Oh my God, it's so good. I just remember driving around with my dad in his car. You know, he had a little, what was that car called? It was a little Toyota Celica back in like the early '80s.
Wow.
Old school. And I remember him playing Pink Floyd for me, and it was just something about like having that kind of music playing, the windows down, and like a nice day out. Like it just puts me in such a good mood. Absolutely every time. I've got another one for you, Josh. These guys have crept into my favorite band status just within the past few years. Seeing them live helps a lot, but their message and just their overall, what they do musically just blows my mind. Skip ahead real quick to that riff. I just got to hear that riff real fast. When was the last time you saw Gojira?
When we in Orlando, when it was them and In Flames.
Oh,
That was the last time I saw them.
yeah. It's 36 Crazy Fists.
Yeah.
Gojira and In Flames headline, and
There was no moshing.
there was no moshing allowed, and Gojira stole the show
Oh.
by a lot, especially when this part happens. It's one of the bounciest things ever. Whenever you see the crowd going off during that song, especially they have a couple DVDs out. I've got one of the Blu-rays, and it's a whole concert, an outdoor concert. And there's thousands of people there, dude. And when that riff kicks in, the entire place looks like a wave of people. It's just bouncing. It's
Those are my favorite. I want to
unbelievable.
be. Why don't we get good festivals, man?
The first time I saw Gojira, it was exact same situation as that In Flames show. It was Trivium, Machine. It was Machine Head, Gojira, Trivium.
Wow.
Yeah, and Trivium was headlining. Gojira leveled the place. It was Janus. It was at Janus Landing before Janus Landing got remodeled.
Wow.
And Gojira absolutely leveled the place. Machine Head came up, and everyone was kind of like, "Yeah, it's Machine Head. It's awesome." And then by the time Trivium came up, it was just like everyone was like, "Eh."
They
whatever.
were like, Gojira already sold the show, so we're gonna go. See you later.
I just saw them in Minneapolis right before I moved home. It was Gojira and Mastodon.
Man.
And it was, I said the Ritz is one of my favorite venues of all time. Well, this place up in Minneapolis called First Avenue, it's one of those places where, like, everybody has played, literally. There's stars on the side of the building of every band that's come through there, and you can just read it for hours
That's
and
a
hours
cool thing
and
to do.
hours. Yeah. Prince has played there many times. Like, we also saw Dave Chappelle do stand-up there. But
Wow.
An unbelievably perfect-sounding venue, awesome bars, awesome setup, all that good stuff. But anywho, so Josh, what do you have for some of your favorites?
This is probably my third favorite band of all time, and they're brand new. and we just
Oh,
saw them.
You got a new band on your
Yeah,
list.
well, we just saw them, and ever since I've seen them live, they've notched up to number 3 for me.
Australia's finest. This, my friends, is Thy Art is Murder, hailing from Australia. Pretty much half of Josh's wardrobe is Thy Art is Murder merchandise.
It is.
They're so good live too.
Oh man,
They're totally on point live. The drummer, his name is escaping my mind right now, but he's so fun to watch, dude.
yeah, he's got a blank stare and his hands are non-stop moving. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
unbelievable.
robot, but like fast.
I wonder how he would do in one of those like beats per minute competitions, because
Oh,
he's
man.
fast, man. What else do you have besides Thy Art is Murder?
This isn't per se one of my favorite metal bands, but this is the first metal band that's actually metal that I heard, and ever since then, I was like, wow, check out these guys. I was like maybe 4 or 5, and this is one of the first songs that I ever heard that was metal. You're gonna laugh because you're not gonna like it, but it's awesome. So good, dude. King Diamond. How do you hit that high note? How do you do that?
I recognize it because that's just always going to be King Diamond. But I honestly, man, I've never really gotten into them.
Wow,
it's
dude.
not because I have any hate against them.
Right.
I've just never sat down and given.
Well, we're gonna have to do that one day.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
They've influenced so many bands.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Metallica,
all of those.
Motorhead.
They all go back to King Diamond. Always.
Oh.
Every single time.
And they're touring right now, and guess what? They don't come to Florida. The closest is Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm
Ugh.
not driving all the way to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's a pretty far drive from here.
I would say, I don't know, but they're always going to be in my head because this was the first metal song I ever heard growing up, and I was like, this is the greatest music I've ever heard. All right, so the next one that I have is everybody's favorite, and if this is the band that made everybody's parents go, you are not allowed to listen to this music.
Oh, I think I might know who it
You
is just
do.
based on your description.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah. I knew it. I knew it. I mean, with a name like Cannibal Corpse, how could your mother not love it?
And their album artwork.
Yeah. You know, the very first time I ever heard Cannibal Corpse, and it actually was this song.
Yes, I do.
What was it?
Ace Ventura.
Absolutely. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. He goes into the club, and Cannibal Corpse is playing on stage, and they're playing Hammer Smash Face, this song. And I remember as a little kid being like, and by this point I already knew some metal bands, and I remember being like, oh my God, that was the heaviest thing I'd ever heard. I was like, what was that? Back then we didn't have, we couldn't just Google it,
Nope.
back then. So come to find out years later is Cannibal Corpse Hammer Smash Face, and it's one of their most popular songs. Their new album this year,
man.
oh my God.
Killer Become.
Killer Become is the nastiest
The lyrics
song.
to that song are great.
It's all zombie, like, you're going to Killer Become, man. You're going to...
You know what's really funny about that song is that I play that at work before we open.
Yeah.
And that dude, Frankie, knows the line with the... fire up the chainsaw, hack the fucking head. He's in the back doing that, and I'm like, what the hell is going on back here?
He knew the words. That's awesome. Cool, man. We're going to take a quick break. On the way out here, I'm going to leave you with a couple little ditties here. This is, we mentioned Meshuggah before. This is New Millennium Cyanide Christ, the first song I ever heard by them. We're going to take a quick break. Enjoy. Catch back with you in a minute. Welcome back. This is Jason and Josh.
What's up, everybody?
Just if you guys happen to have the old Twitter account, you can tweet us individually and give us some ideas of stuff you might want to hear or any upcoming shows you may know about. Maybe if your friend is in a local band or maybe you're in a local band and you want to send us some of your music, we will be more than happy to play it. Josh, where can our followers and listeners find us on Twitter?
At Captain Spitter.
Captain Spitter. Captain Spitter, a great Twitter name. You can find me at Agent Dustal, AGENT DUSTAL. Like I said, feel free, tweet us. Let us know what's going on. Tell us how much we suck. And yeah, thanks a lot. So we talked earlier about some of our favorite bands of all time. That kind of brings up another topic because metal is always changing. It's always evolving. There's always new bands on the horizon. There's always the latest, greatest thing. So Josh, over the past 2-3 years, maybe, what are some of your favorite bands that have just started to blossom?
I mean, well, this band is brand new, and they I found them on a whim. They're from Australia. They're called A Night in Texas.
What's the song called?
I Godless. Oh, man.
All these bands out of Australia recently.
I'm telling you, bro,
Good
they're
Lord.
overtaking the metal community.
Well, even like the bands that aren't as heavy, like
Dead Letter Circus.
Dead Letter Circus is
Carnival.
Carnival's from there. I mean, there's so many good just overall music coming out of Australia now.
Love it. Parkway Drive.
Yeah, Parkway Drive, fantastic band. They definitely fit into that Thy Art Is Murder type of style.
I'd love to see them tour with them.
Yeah, that'd be a great tour. Them and Heart of a Coward.
Oh, man.
That would be a good tour, too. I'll have to pull some of them up in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. What about you?
I am absolutely obsessed with a band called Viljarda. I'll play a little bit of this song called Dagger. It's they actually have a video for the song. You can find it on YouTube and whatnot. These guys are like one of the best at setting mood and just kind of being really creepy sounding. This is the type of music that I would want to have playing if I were having a nightmare, basically. Here we go. They have two singers. A lot of Meshuggah influence in there for
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
They're absolutely awesome. I luckily, while living in Minnesota, they came through. It was one of those situations. This has happened before in Minnesota. They're kind of known for it. Every year, right before fall, like kind of the end of summer, early fall time, for some reason, several tours usually end up merging in Minnesota.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, so last year, it was one of those shows, and I can't even remember all the bands that were there off the top of my head, but it was absolutely insane. It was one of those things, the show had to start at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
And we ended up seeing Viljarda that day, and we already had known about him at this point, and that was literally probably one of the best single sets I've ever seen in my life.
I remember because I got a text message after they played, and you were like, dude, I just seen the greatest live show ever.
Like, and what sucks, the only thing that sucks about it is that the venue that it was at, it was one of those things where one band would play this stage, next band would play this stage.
Oh, okay.
Well, the stage on the left, I'll say in the left room, that's the big stage that has the better sound system and stuff, and the lighting and whatnot. The stage in the right room was kind of like a little club that you go to,
Like, it's like the
here.
Ritz. There's the little side room where the bands play, and then there's the big band.
Yeah. So I was hoping the way it would work out, they would get the better room with the better sound system. They didn't, but even being in the right room, not any lights or anything like that, just basically like one light shining on the band the whole time. But the amount of sound that came out of that band was absolutely mind blowing. And talk about the greatest like head twirling headbangers I've ever seen in my life, dude.
Man,
they're absolutely amazing.
I wish I could have been there.
Yeah, luckily, our buddy Che, he happened to be up in Minnesota to visit during that weekend when that show came through, so he got to see that set as well. It wasn't. It was definitely something I'll never forget. What else you got, Josh?
This next band hails from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oop, I know who it is already.
Yes, you do. This song's called "Rule by Secrecy."
So the band is called Molotov Solution. They're from Las Vegas. They're one of my favorite bands too. We've seen them twice. There's a small venue here. It's part of the Tampa Skate Park. It used to be called Transitions Art Gallery. Now it's called Epic Problem.
Yeah.
But it's like literally a tiny room that can fit a couple hundred people. They have a small upstairs area that can hold maybe 10 people if you're lucky. And it's just one of those tiny, tiny, tiny little venues. And luckily we saw those guys there twice.
And don't forget about my birthday show.
Oh, your birthday show.
Oh.
It's Molotov Solution, Somebody, and
Chimera
Unearth.
and
and Unearth. Yeah, that was at the State Theater at Janus.
Yep, and we got to hang out with them.
Yep, we got to hang out with Molotov that night. That was awesome.
And my whole entire family was there.
Oh, yeah.
Their introduction to metal.
There was a picture floating around somewhere of Josh's mom holding up a Molotov Solution shirt, like holding it up like she's
with
wearing it.
Jägermeister girls, shot girls.
Yeah, and she's like throwing up the horns, man. It's so awesome. They were really one of the first bands I ever heard of that kind of like deathcore-y type of style. Yeah. But I was heartbroken to find out that they had broken up.
Yep.
Well, they're writing again.
Yes.
They're getting back together.
They just played a couple shows in Europe.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Some like warm-up kind of shows or whatever?
And they've been posting like little snippet videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
And wow, the first show they did was at Chain Reaction in California.
Yeah.
And Nick, I guess, let one of the roadies hold his phone, and they did Final Hour, and you get a little bit of snip. Oh, man.
It's just nasty.
Oh, man.
So one of the things I like about Molotov Solutions so much is their message. Like the
love
lyrics
it.
to their songs, they're like borderline anarchist, like anti-government, like anti-authority, and they, like, if you read their lyrics, they are not afraid to hide it at all.
Never.
Cool.
What about you?
So I've got another one. This has been a big band for all of us, I think. And it was actually when I had to move to Minnesota for a job. You move across the country like that, and you're not going to really know anybody, so it's a little scary. But I remember with my girlfriend and I, we're both huge fans of this band, and we both agreed that this was going to be one of the benefits of living in Minnesota is that we were going to get to see After the Burial as much as we want to. After the Burial from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Phenomenal band. I mean, they're heavy, they're fast. They do a lot of crazy tricks with their timing. Kind of a little bit of that Meshuggah influence again in a lot of these newer bands. Let me pull up the breakdown for you.
So good.
When they do this live, it literally makes the building shake. It's right at like the 3:30 mark in the song Berserker off the album Rare Form, After the Burial. What? It's one of those things too, man, where it's heavier live. Like it literally makes the building shake.
We just saw them the first week of October.
Yeah.
And there was nobody there.
That was so upsetting because they are so
It
good.
was upsetting for them because, you know, they want to see a lot of people there. But for me, it was intimate.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
When my girlfriend and I were in Minnesota, they played a lot of shows up there to get ready to go on tour and to practice the new songs and stuff. So we saw them. I mean, we were only up there 18 months, and we probably saw them 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the 6 or 7 times we've seen them around Florida. They're one of those bands. When you see them live, if you're kind of on the fence about them, when you see them live, you fall in love with them. They're absolutely amazing.
They make you want to stage dive.
Absolutely. Every single time. And they're super nice guys, too. Anyway, what else you got, Josh?
This band grew. I did not like them when they first came out. And ever since the last album, I went back and I've re-listened to everything. This band is amazing. They're called Cattle Decapitation. They're from California.
Oh, yeah.
And this song's called Lifestalker.
Give us a quick rundown of, I've spent most of my life, and I know you have too, defending metal.
Okay.
A lot of people just think it's noise. A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people think that it's all about Satanism and all this crazy stuff.
Which
when
it's
in fact, if you're listening to this show and you know us and you know metal, you know it's not like that. A lot of that music is very inspiring, and we hold a lot of it very close to our hearts. Cattle Decapitation, when you see their artwork and you hear a name like Cattle Decapitation, I could see how people would think that they were some kind of crazy-ass, like, violent band.
yeah, for sure.
But, Josh, you're a huge fan of theirs. Give us a quick rundown of what their message is all about and what they do.
I mean, they're vegans.
Oh, go figure.
I know, right? I'm not too in key with a lot of the stuff that they talk about, but I know it has to do with how humanity is ruining the planet and, like, how we're slaughtering animals, and it's just
like how bad the animals are treated.
Oh
at the
yeah,
farms
before
and stuff like that. Yeah.
And I mean, it's a great message. I think they're getting their point across. And like I said before, man, I did not like these guys when the first time I heard them.
Yeah.
This new album, Monolith of Inhumanity, changed my perspective of this band.
Did that come out this year?
It came out last year.
Oh, 13. It came out 13.
And ever since then, dude, I went back and listened to everything, and I'm like, these guys are amazing. And you got to see them live.
Yeah, we saw them at either a Summer Slaughter or
it was Summer Slaughter
or All Stars. It was Summer Slaughter
because it was Dyer's Murder, Rings of Saturn.
Oh yeah,
Norma
Rings of
Jean.
Saturn was on that show too. Yeah, that was awesome. That was actually the show, that Summer Slaughter show. My YouTube page, I've got like over 100 videos of just me being at shows and stuff. And a band that I love, and I know you don't like it all. We're always mixed on these guys, but Periphery was on that tour, and something was wrong with Spencer's voice. He was sick or something was going on. So they came out and they played an instrumental set, and that's how people like you who don't like Spencer's voice usually like them, is they listen to the instrumental stuff. So Anyway, it was a super rare thing for them to do, and I caught all of it on video. And on my YouTube page, that's the video that has the most hits, was that Periphery set. But it was such a weird mix because it was all those bands you mentioned before, and then Periphery.
Yeah.
It was strange.
The headliner was Dillinger Escape Plan.
Oh, they killed, dude.
Animals as Leaders.
Yep.
Norma Jean. Cali Decapitation. Revocation.
Yep.
Eon. Rings of Saturn. Dyer's Murder.
You have a wonderful memory, sir.
Well,
and I was there. I was at the show. I don't even remember
because I
all
really
the
wanted
bands.
to go, man.
So last night, there was a sweet tour that came through, and it was in St. Pete at the State Theater. But it was the next band I'm going to play, a band called the Black Crown Initiate. They were opening, and then it was Unearth, who just put out a phenomenal album, and a band that's been around forever and just always kicks ass, Crowbar. I know you're a big Crowbar fan.
I like Crowbar.
So we ended up not going to the show only because we heard that Black Crown Initiate, their van had broke down, and we just kind of pussed out, to be honest with you. So we skipped them, unfortunately, this time. But the way I justify it is they're about to come through again with somebody else. I can't remember who. But anywho, this song is off of the EP Song of the Crippled Bull. It's the first EP. This was the first song I ever heard by them. I'm not going to start from the beginning. I'm going to start from one of my favorite parts. But the song is called Stench of the Iron Age. That EP is one of those EPs where it just feels like the whole thing is one big piece, like almost like a concept album.
Right.
But it takes you through these ups and downs. It's one of those albums, or EPs rather, that throw on some headphones, close your eyes, and just let it take you away.
I like those.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Hopefully we'll get to see them again soon. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to let you guys ride out here with a band that we just found a couple days ago. They used to go by the Code Orange Kids.
Oh, man, these guys are nuts.
Yeah, now they go by Code Orange. What's really unique about these guys is these guys and one girl guitar player. They look really, really young, which is always interesting to me. They're probably pretty young anyway. But anyway, here's Code Orange with a song called I Am King. Welcome back. That was Code Orange, formerly known as the Code Orange Kids, with a song called I Am King. They are from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Great band.
Wow.
That breakdown at the end, unbelievable.
And they're a mix between metal and hardcore.
Yeah, they definitely have that metal hardcore mix for sure. They some of those riffs, I'm like, they're kind of like hate breedy almost, and then it just breaks into something just totally different. I like that. I like that effect they do.
Yeah, in the beginning,
music stops and starts. Yeah, they pull it off live too. There's a couple live videos of them, and the kids absolutely go psycho over these guys. Anyway, so thanks for listening. I'm here with Josh. My name's Jason. We are calling ourselves right now, at least, the Headbanging Honkeys. We're basically just two kids who love metal, and we want to spread the word on some of these bands and just, I don't know, sit around and do something fun and talk smack to each other, really. So we talked about the bands that started us off into metal. We talked about our favorite bands. We talked about
influences,
bands that we've really found in the past couple years. We mentioned at the beginning of the show, 2014 has been an unbelievable year for metal. We have currently a album of the year list going. We do this tradition every year where we pick 5, but it's almost going to be impossible to pick 5 this year.
I would say, yeah.
So 2014, huge year for metal. Josh, what would be, if you had to pick right now, it's December 2nd. I don't think anything else is really coming out for the rest of the year. But as of right now, what's your favorite album this year?
One of them is by a band from Flint, Michigan, and this would be it. They're called King 810.
Are you scared, motherfucker? Are you scared of the gun? You're bad. Around the heart, the devil is real, and I wear his marks. You're bad. Around the heart.
These guys are getting a huge push right now.
Well, yeah, they're on tour with Slipknot.
Yeah, and I keep seeing on my Instagram page, because I follow so many musicians on Instagram,
so do I, yeah.
Everybody is posting King 810 clips from shows.
I'm telling you, man, this album from start to finish, it's got some of the most heaviest things I've heard.
Yeah.
And then there's also songs on the album that are like
so
soft and it's creepy.
What are they all about? I know 810 is the zip code to Flint, Michigan. What's their story?
I mean, a lot of, for me listening to him, like, they're from Flint, Michigan. It's the #1 murder capital of the world.
Sure.
And like, it's their struggle growing up in an all black populated place, and they're white, and you know, there's murder, robbery, stabbing, shootings, and it's just he wrote this album while he was in prison.
So basically, they just grew up rough, and they're from the streets, and probably involved with gangs and all kinds of crap.
Oh yeah.
And this is just them as adults getting all of that out.
Like I said, he wrote this whole album in prison, and when he got out, they got signed to Roadrunner.
Do you know what he got locked up for?
I don't. I haven't really looked into it.
Yeah. They've been blowing people away apparently, but
it's a great album.
Opening for Slipknot, especially with their sound, opening for Slipknot's perfect.
Well, they just got denied into Canada.
Oh, really?
Because of 2 of them being felons.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, hey. Cool.
What about you, Jason?
My favorite album this year is from a band that Che turned us on to last year or the year before, and I hadn't quite gotten it yet. But a band called Fallujah. I bought this one on vinyl. The album's called The Flesh Prevails. We just saw them over the Summer Slaughter. And for being a kind of a technical death metal band, they're absolutely perfect live. And the album itself just straight up rips.
It's awesome.
I can't tell what's more impressive, the guitar work or the drums. Like, those guys, to play that fast and that tight is very, very, very difficult. but they seem to pull it off, man. This album is full of good riffs. It's one of those albums. This is what I love about metal, because I find myself saying this all the time. I'm like, put on a set of headphones, close your eyes, lay your head back, and just let this one take you for a ride, man. This is one of those albums.
And it's a great album.
Absolutely wonderful. And I got it on vinyl, like I said, and it sounds
amazing.
Awesome. Yeah. What else you got? What else you got for your album of the year this year?
My next one, this song got tons of play. I play it at least once a day. If I had to say, if you had to pick a favorite song ever, this song right here is it.
Oh yeah. This album too. This album slips in and out of my top 5 depending on my mood that day. It's so good. If not the best album, maybe even the best song of the year.
Oh man.
Definitely hands down best video of the year.
Oh, for sure.
This is Motherload by Mastodon. The video is basically a bunch of chicks twerking, and it's phenomenal.
Who doesn't love booty?
Booty and metal, come on.
It goes hand in hand.
How catchy is that chorus?
The whole song is catchy. The whole
it's
album,
awesome.
dude. When I first heard High Road, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is going to be great. Then Motherload came out, and I was like, wow. And then the whole album,
Yeah.
I think, is their best work to date.
I would not disagree with you on that one. They played live with Gojira. We saw them at First Avenue in Minneapolis, and it was one of those situations where the during the chorus, the whole crowd was singing the chorus.
Oh, man.
And it gives you goosebumps, man. It's
Those
absolutely
are good
awesome.
sing-alongs.
Absolutely.
I love those.
Yep, for sure. My number two.
He said two.
We just saw them a couple nights ago. Unfortunately, you couldn't make this one,
Nope.
but Architects from UK.
Ugh.
They've been around for a little while, and I don't like a lot of their newer stuff, but the last album I just got into, but this album, their brand new one, it's called Lost Forever, Lost Together. Absolutely perfect.
It's the album of the year. I don't care.
Yeah, if you're into that almost like metalcore type of sound, they are up there in the same category as maybe like Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
Some bands like that.
Yeah.
But albums, like I said, Lost Forever, Lost Together. This is Architects. The song's called Broken Cross. And live, oh my God, unreal. I bought this on vinyl too.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
God only knows what we were born to burn!
Everybody there knew the words to this song when they played it.
Who doesn't know the words to this song
So
by
good.
now?
It is. They are very powerful lyrics for sure. They have some of the best blachs out of any band. Blach. It always impresses me when a band can play their songs perfectly, because I'm such a stickler about how things sound. And when these guys play these songs that are not easy to play, and they nail it. I mean, the right tempo. Nobody screws up one note at all. It's super impressive.
Well,
to
when
me.
you go to a show, you want the band to sound like the album.
Yeah, but it doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes people are drunk. Some band members are drunk. Sometimes the singer's voice is screwed up. And I totally understand it. I'm just saying, when the stars are all aligned and bands kill it like they did, and second time I've seen them, they did it the first time too. That's what gives me the goosebumps. That's why I go to shows.
Exactly.
What else you got? Besides King 810.
This band got a new guitar player, and he took them to a new level of awesomeness, and it's Carnifex with Die Without Hope.
Oh, yeah. I can say that I've liked them since the beginning.
Yes.
We saw them at the old Orpheum.
Orpheum with Despised Icon.
And wasn't Upon a Burning Body there?
No, that was a different show.
The Upon a Burning Body was there with Molotov Solution.
Yes.
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 God, that would have been like 07, 8, 09 maybe at the latest.
No, it was either 08 or 09.
Oh, God, we're getting old. That old Orpheum, though, it was tiny.
Oh.
And I remember, I have a couple pictures still somewhere on an old memory card somewhere. But when Carnifex played that show, I was wasted that night.
Oh, man.
And it was one of those venues where there's no barrier. I mean,
There's none.
The stage is about thigh high.
Yeah.
And the band just plays right in front of you.
Oh, it's so good.
I was literally like right there in front of Scott, and like his sweat was dripping on me. I was that close. It was crazy. You know what's great about them, too, is that I saw something with Scott, the singer. He did an interview with somebody, and he was talking about their new guitar player and how they're so much better as a band, how much more on point they are, because before they had like never used click tracks or anything like that, so they were just willy-nilly playing whatever. But this edition of this new guy has absolutely taken them to the next level.
This whole album is phenomenal. Ugh.
Front to back.
I think it's really cool that in this video, the new guitar player is giving a shout out by wearing a Lorna Shore
Oh, he's
shirt.
wearing a Lorna Shore shirt?
Wow.
Those guys opened for Carnifex when we saw them in Minneapolis last.
Oh, man.
And I had maybe listened to one or two songs. And they.
I posted that Godmaker song.
Oh, yeah.
And from there, everybody's like, oh, my God, who is this? And
Yeah.
Oh.
They played.
You're lucky you got to see them.
And they were one of the first bands to go on, so people were still kind of standing around, didn't really know what was going on. And they came on and just leveled the place. And we ended up hanging out with the singer afterwards, took some pictures with him and stuff. But he was really funny and super, super nice guy.
What's your next one, Jason?
The next one I've got for you. This was my album of the year if we had started the conversation in March or April, because it came out early, and
Okay.
I could not stop listening to this album. The band's called Monuments.
Oh.
I'm just going to play the first song here. It starts off with I the Destroyer is the name of the song. But just a quick little tidbit. We just, go figure, saw them in Orlando. The venue we saw them at is called the Back Booth, and it holds like 300 people, and it's not, for being small, it's not a dump. It's small but nice. So they have a great sound system. It was really easy to get a drink at the bar. The next time there's a good show at the Back Booth, I'm going again because I like the place.
I just
Anyway,
like the name.
This is Monuments, I the Destroyer.
Inside of making this all of me.
These guys know how to make it catchy.
I will say this though, when this album came out and I listened to it the first time, I was not sold because of the singer.
Oh, for Chris?
Yeah, I was like, and then I listened to it like maybe like 3 more times, and on the 3rd time, dude,
Something clicked.
I was like, sometimes why am I so dumb sometimes?
it's
I don't
crazy.
get it at first, and it takes me a
It's all
while
good.
to get it.
It's all good,
And
man.
now I'm just like, I really want to see them live.
As long as it finally clicked, it doesn't matter how many
all
times.
I have to say is Vila Maya. It happened before.
Oh, yeah, you didn't click with Vela Maya, and you also didn't click with, oh, God, somebody else huge. You were like, no, I don't like them. And then now you do. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember who it is.
I'm always the last one to be like, yeah, they're awesome.
Other than those few albums that we just mentioned in the past, we could go on and on about this, but in the past 15 minutes or so, that's only 3 of my top 5.
And I only had 3.
I still have the new Job for a Cowboy album is unbelievable.
The new Rings of Saturn.
The Rings of Saturn's really good. Woo! There's too many good ones this year. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Just a minute ago, Josh mentioned the song Godmaker by Lorna Shore, and I feel like listening to it now. So anyway, here's Lorna Shore with Godmaker. We'll catch you guys back, and we're going to get the hell out of here. What up, y'all? Jason back here with Josh.
What's up?
That song you just heard was called Godmaker by the band Lorna Shore. Look them up. They are the shit.
They are.
And they're awesome live, too. Last segment, I was having a total brain fart on which band other than Veil of Maya that Josh didn't like at first.
I'm drawing a blank still.
And it finally clicked with me, and finally clicked with him, which is the most important part. Another band from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, yep.
You know who it is?
Reflections.
It's Reflection. This part makes me want to punch things. And they murder it live, too.
Oh, so they did.
I have no idea how that did not click with you at first.
I still really don't like the first album.
Yeah.
It doesn't click with me, but after I listened to this album like 3 times,
Yeah.
and then seeing them live, I was like, God, what is wrong with me sometimes? I'm just like, some bands are just like,
Yeah. They're awesome.
and
Them,
then, bam.
them being in Minneapolis, they opened for After the Burial at a lot of those shows that I had mentioned. They were playing all the time, so we probably saw them 8 or 9 times up there. They're a fantastic band. Nicest guys in the world too. They're really young.
Oh, yeah,
they're
they
all
are.
like in their early 20s.
20s.
I think Charles, the guitar player, I think he's the oldest one, and he's like 25 or 26.
Wow.
And that's still pretty damn young. But anyway, yeah, Reflections, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The song is called Vain Words from Empty Minds, and it's on the album Exist. Definitely get out and check them out. Actually, the band we played before, Monuments, the show that it was at the back booth that I was telling you about, Reflections was the opener.
And then it was Glass Cloud.
Glass Cloud was the headliner.
My brother.
Oh, yeah, your brother. Jerry Roush, the lead singer of Glass Cloud, looks exactly like Josh, by the way. I should do a side-by-side, or we could just tweet out your picture with him that you took at that show.
Yeah.
The last time we saw them at the Orpheum.
Well, you took it, so it's on your phone.
Oh, it's on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You take all the pictures. I had the first iPhone then.
I think the only difference between you and Jerry is I think you might be like about an inch taller than him.
And I'm not bald.
Oh yeah. He has a shaved head right now. You looked exactly like though. It was hilarious. So what's coming up next, Josh? It's December 2nd. We just missed that Unearthed show last night, unfortunately. What's the next show for us?
Nice try. I'm not going to say it because I'll mess it up.
Oh. So the next show that's coming up that we're going to go to is is being put on. Well, where's it at?
It's at the Orpheum.
It's at the Orpheum in Ybor City. The first band, Josh, what's the first band's name?
The Akia strain.
The what?
The Akia strain.
It's the Acacia strain.
Yes, that band.
Acacia
strain.
Acacia.
Acacia.
The Acacia strain.
Acacia strain.
There you go. Good job.
All right.
Are they headlining or are they?
No.
Who's headlining?
Emir.
Who?
Emir.
Oh, you said it right this time.
All right, yeah, brownie points.
Josh usually says Emira. So when this tour started, he's like, bro, we're going to go see Emira and the Akia strain. I'm like, who the hell are you talking about? After that.
Well, there's a show before that, but there's only one good band, and I've always wanted to see them. It's December 11th at the State Theater, and it's I Killed the Prom Queen.
Oh, they're from Australia, too.
Yeah.
Another
and I've never
Australian
seen
band.
it, but every band else that's there is horrible.
Oh, well, hey, you don't want to drive that far and pay $20 for one band.
I've never seen them. I really wanna
But
see
you've
them.
never seen them, so that's obviously an opportunity there. The only reason we went to Warped Tour this year was to see Parkway Drive because I'd never seen them. It was the only
but
reason.
there was other bands there that I wanted to see.
Yeah, but it's Warped Tour. It was hot. I'm old. It was just, it was middle of July in St. Pete, Florida.
Hey.
Hey.
What
What else is coming up?
Are you Are you gonna go to the Periphery show?
I will be at the Periphery show. Yes.
Are you? You're gonna
I'm-
see Nothing More too.
I'm a little nervous because Nothing More and the other band that's playing with them, Woven War.
That's
Woven War.
Woven War.
They're like radio rock kind of bands, and I'm not
Well,
hating on them
Woven
too much.
War is As They Lay Dying with the frontman of Oh Sleeper.
Yeah, but it's like it seems like Periphery is kind of creeping into this like more of like radio friendly sound.
I've
and
never
it's-
liked Periphery.
It's kind of creeping me out.
So
a little
I'm just
bit.
gonna go for the beer and the bartenders.
Oh yeah. We're gonna wrap the show up, guys. Thank you so much for listening. First show, probably a little rough in some places, but hey, who cares? It costs us nothing, and we make nothing. We're going to wrap it up. We'll see you next time. This last song that we're gonna leave you with is by a fantastic down-tempo band called Black Tongue.
Oh,
The song is called Coma. We just saw them at Transitions Art Gallery. Great show, other than they have no lights or anything like that. But
it's
hey,
so dark.
Black Tongue, Coma. This is Jason and Josh, Headbanging Honkeys.
Peace out, guys.
Later.
Temporary bullshit. I want the light at the end, and I know how to get it. You can glimpse at the world inside my head. You scream to you.